Alright, so if you're a cheap bastard like me, you decide to get a new steering wheel the cheapest way possible and bought a generic-ass $70 universal kit. And it comes with a couple of rings, and you're not really sure what the hell to do with them. You can still see that there's some blue left on there. One of them's going to be solid. And then the other side, I don't know if you can see inside there, I already put it together, is kind of slotted. There's this. It's got the wire coming off of the plastic one. So it took me a minute to figure it out, and this needs to make contact with your horn in order for your horn to work. So this piece, you squish it together, use the inside ring, put that on the outside of it, and just press it together. Now that it's together, I'm not going to try and take it apart. And then you get your universal piece, circle toward the top. Oh, can't see it. Circle toward the top. Feed it through. Kind of gently put it together like that. Now, these cheap ones, there's usually a boot or accordion that goes over this piece. We don't have one of those. So I'm just going to put some duct tape or electric tape on this part to keep it steady. That way it doesn't start slicing up that little wire in there. And now after putting the electric tape around it, nice and clean and smooth. Not really moving. That's exactly what I want. All I gotta do is put this in through the hub, bolt it down, and we're good to go. Alright, so the toy I'm working on is a 92 Mazda MX-3, and as you can see, there's a reason I chose the green steering wheel. Now I gotta look at my ugly face. So originally the steering wheel comes with these long chrome ugly pieces of shit screws, and they're garbage. They originally come through the steering wheel, but if you try and mount them through the steering wheel into the hub, they're actually too long, and they're gonna fuck up everything inside there. They bend it up, and and you gotta bend it back. Not easy. So we're gonna say we didn't do that. So I got these black ones, went down to Fastenal, spent like $10 for 10. So replace these and these. These are the ones that come on the inside that are meant to attach quick release to the hub, but they're kind of short. They don't really do the job very well. So I took the longer ones that were here, put them in this way, they thread much better. Took the shorter ones that are supposed to go through here, put them on here, no more problem. So once I knew my thread count and the length that I needed, right there. So, in the MX-3, there's 3 bolts behind here that are going to take this horn piece off. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to that. Alright, now that we've removed the horn piece, you can see there's 3 bolts connected through it, there, and there, to create this ground. So when it contacts, this wire hits that, it contacts through this, which means this piece is my ground, the actual collar. I had to get behind the steering wheel, no extension. Jump to that. Now, I already had this off. I was experimenting with it yesterday, which is why it's crooked. I put it on crooked. It should have been on like that when I put it back to drive. Whatever. There's my horn. And this makes contact with this. Happens. And like I said, pull towards the top. Bolt this back together. I do need an extension. Alright, so since I already have this mounted on there, which is take it apart, this push. wiggles in order for it to line up properly. This button needs to be about the 1230 position. Alright, once I finish tightening these bolts down, pretty much just putting that back on, steering wheel on, locking it in place, testing to make sure it's straight. Alright, so now I've gotten all of these nice and tight to where they're through and they're not sticking up. Test the steering wheel. Make sure it's where it's supposed to. Locked into place. Good. Got a little bit of wiggle to it, but cheap one. But seriously, the cheapest steering wheel you can get. Whatever. Should be alright. Again, that's just this part right here where it connects. If it was too much tighter, you wouldn't be able to get this off and on. Smooth and slick and hot as fuck out. Sweating. Anyways, that should be it. Now it's just time to take it for a test drive and make sure it's straight. Alright, so back in the lab, we took this car for a test drive and the steering wheel was dead nuts on. Stoked about it. It was perfect. Alright, so some of this stuff. So quick review. On the inside of the hub where the steering wheel horn attaches to the disconnect, there was this little ring. I assumed that it had no purpose other than to be in the way of the horn. So if you didn't have a horn and you just had the circle in your steering wheel, then you would probably keep this ring. But if you keep the horn button, then you just want to tear this thing out. It pops right out. It's just kind of squished together and pushed in there. I actually knocked mine out on accident, so that's how I knew I could get rid of it. Going back through the hardware that comes with it, it has these little bolts. So I'm assuming that these are for if, again, you do not have a horn button and you just need to mount the steering wheel directly to the hub. Otherwise, trash. These ones. If you're going to use your original hardware, you'll notice that there is long and short. Now you notice the width on the heads. The problem I had is that these long ones that were in the steering wheel were too long to go through, and they were crushing and misshapen the release bearing, or the quick release on the steering wheel. And so when I tried to rotate them and use these shiny silver ones on the inside and then use these ones to hold the steering wheel to the quick release, it was great, aside from the fact that that big fat head was in the way. And it's cheap material, so if you give it a little torque, it'll plow right through and sink itself. But because it's cheap, I don't know if you can see, but that hex head just gets stripped to shit so easy. Which is why I opted for these. Hold them up so you can actually see what they are. I went down to Fastenal and got a socket head cap screw, 10 by 32 by 7/8. These are the long ones that I use to mount the steering wheel to the hub, or the quick release to the hub. And then these are the short ones. Same 1032, but instead of being 7/8, they're only 1/2 inch. And you could probably go a little bit longer, but not much. And these are what I use to hold the steering wheel to the quick release. So I'll go out and take a quick look to show you what that looks like. Alright, so this is the finished product. You can see the electric tape looking ghetto as hell. And the wire that goes in through it. And if you look on this back side, you can see it, those bolts are just a little bit long, which is fine because there ain't nothing there. It's good. Gives them lots of threads to sink into. These, on the other hand, are actually a bit short. pull the ring, you can see they don't quite make it to the end. See if I can get one in the sun. It's not the best resolution on the camera, but they're actually only about half to 2/3 of the way through. So if you've got a little bit longer on that, it'd be okay. But if they stick out of these holes at all, they're going to contact this inner piece, and then you won't be able to get your steering wheel apart. Just like that. Push the button to slide it, or lock it back into place. Bam. It actually looks pretty good on there. And one more note, when I was on my test drive, I noticed that the steering wheel is now quite a bit further away from everything. It's much closer to my lap, so when I go to hit my turn signals, I really gotta reach to get them, which is probably good for on-track use, but it'll just take some getting used to. Just a heads up.